Okay, everyone, welcome back to Breakpoint Breakdown, part 2 of the Sinner Alcaraz preview of the final at the ATP Finals. And as I was just mentioning, I just left off on talking about Sinner's serve, and what I was trying to get at is how he's improved that since the US Open. I was mentioning that he's made north of 70% of his first serves in every single match that he's played at the ATP Finals across the 4 matches that he's played. He's either made 75 or 71%. So it's been a healthy number of first serves in each of the matches. And if he can serve that way against Carlos Alcaraz, I really like his chances to get it done, because he was only at 62% as well at Wimbledon, and he was able to get it done. So I really like his chances if he keeps up this serving that we've seen from him. But I know it's definitely going to be harder to keep that up against Carlos Alcaraz, because he's a better returner than everyone else he's faced, but also just knowing that Carlos is on the other side of the net, he might have that in his mind. So I like his chances on the serve. Obviously, in this matchup, one of the biggest takeaways that we've had when talking about this matchup and why Carlos has been so successful is mixing up the heights and spins, right? The one thing that we have seen trouble Yannick a little bit these past 2 years is the variety. You know, Carlos can mix up the heights and spins, but we also saw Bublik and Halle using all those drop shots. You know, we saw Dimitrov at Wimbledon with the slice. That was giving Yannick some fits. So we've seen Carlos with mixing up some of these heights and spins just break Sinner's rhythm a little bit, and Yannick obviously hasn't enjoyed that. It's going to be harder for Alcaraz to do that in Turin just because the court speed is so quick. But Carlos, one of the changes that he's made since Wimbledon, I would say, but one of the things that Sinner actually did well at Wimbledon was rush Alcaraz and also use the backhand down the line. Now, it's going to be a little bit harder to rush Alcaraz because he tried to do that at the US Open, but Carlos has actually made some changes to both his forehand and backhand, but specifically his forehand. He had a little bit of a higher takeback. He's lowered that takeback now, so it's harder to rush him because he's lowered it and he can just swing through it a little bit easier. So that'll be interesting to see. I also think Sinner's going to have just some more pressure on himself because he's going to be at home, and he really needs to get a win, and it's on his surface. It's a quick surface, indoor hardcourt, and it's in his hometown. And I think Sinner is going to have a little bit more pressure than Alcaraz in a sense, even though Carlos is the world #1 and Sinner's #2 now. I think Sinner will have that pressure, so I think that may play a factor in this one. Look, the prediction for me is really, really tough. This is essentially a 50. I think Sinner starts as the favorite, maybe 55-45. It's very, very close. I'm going to pick Alcaraz in 3. The pressure factor, I feel like that's the X factor. I'm going to give the edge to Carlos, but this is razor thin, guys. Anything could happen in this matchup, as we've seen. I feel like I predicted this wrong a lot of times. I know I got RG and Wimbledon right, but let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.